I too am very grateful for Day Day's readings tonight. They were so beautiful. I remember it wasn't all that long ago when, someone I was close to, it wasn't an attack on me, but someone I was close to, he was threatened with a lawsuit. And it was so unjust, it was so unfounded, and I really just became enraged. I was surprised at myself, and I felt like my thought was just galloping. And I was thinking of all the things I was going to say to this person and all the things I was going to do to this person and how dare he do this. And if it weren't for dear Mrs. Eddy and certainly the selections that Day Day read from tonight in taking an offense by Mrs. Eddy, and the other one that was also mentioned is to love your neighbor and have no enemies by Mrs. Eddy. I'm so grateful for those articles. They are what kept me from going berserk, really. I studied them every morning for, must have been a few weeks. And each time I read them and studied and prayed, my thought became calmer and clearer, and I was healed of that really hateful sense, which certainly should be no part of anyone, and I certainly didn't want it to be part of me because it is so ungodlike. Yes, in the name of the article, Love Your Enemies, in Miscellaneous Writings, it's actually the third article Mrs. Eddy wrote, and such a beautiful and important one because she lived all those words. And on page 10 she writes, "We have no enemies. Whatever envy, hatred, revenge, the most remorseful motives that govern mortal mind, whatever these try to do, shall work together for good to them that love God. Why? Because he is called his own, armed them, equipped them, and furnished them defenses impregnable. Their God will not let them be lost, and if they fall, they shall rise again, stronger than before the stumble. The good cannot lose their God, their help in times of trouble. If they mistake the divine command, they will recover and countermand their order, retrace their steps, and reinstate his orders, more assured to press on safely. The best lessons of their lives is gained by crossing swords with temptation, with fear, and the besetments of evil, insomuch as they thereby have tried their strength and proven it, insomuch as they have found their strength made perfect in weakness, and their fear is self-immolated." So I'm so grateful for that wonderful reminder, and there was a great healing in this problem that I mentioned because nothing ever came to pass. It just dissipated as I got my thought right and realized we are all God's children, and it's my responsibility to see that and not to react. I'm so grateful for dear Mrs. Eddy for all that she has given us for this independent church and to be here tonight.